The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
It's that time of the show where we take a look at the local business and economic development news. I'm joined by Kevin Lawrence from Fall River Development News on Facebook. Kevin, how are you?
Very well. Happy to be here once again.
All right, a couple of updates on projects we touched upon before, but they're moving forward, mainly in terms of local housing and apartment projects. The Zoning Board of Appeals recently had a meeting where there were a couple of issues that came up. The first one is a renovation of an historic convent, and that apartment project will now move forward.
Yes, the former Holy Union Sisters Convent at 550 and 570 Rock Street in Fall River, a very historic site. It's one step closer now to becoming a 12-unit residential apartment. The Fall River Zoning Board unanimously approved a variance and special permit from Rockview LLC for this development proposal. Now, initially, Rockview LLC came before the board and was seeking to put 15 units into the convent. They reduced it and revised it to 12 units. Following feedback from the previous meeting, there was a lot of opposition to this. People don't want residential housing at that site. The neighbors were complaining. The historical commission was upset with it as well. The changes, though, include reducing that unit count and altering parking configurations to address the concerns of the residents. But it did go through, and it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Second project before the zoning board is in the south end, the bottom of Slade Street. We talked about this before, about a larger project that's going in there.
Yeah, this was originally going to be 81 units along the waterfront right at the very bottom of Slade Street. That proposal was reduced to 48 units. The new development is going to happen now because it was approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals. They granted a special permit to Hyde Development LLC. 48 units going in there. There'll be a total of 3 buildings. We have a rendering up for your viewers to see, with the first 2 floors having 6 2-bedroom units on each level. The third floor in each building will have 4 3-bedroom units, and there'll be at least 2 parking spaces per unit. So that's going to be 3 modern buildings going up at the bottom of Slade Street with 48 total apartment units.
And something you just mentioned is interesting. A lot of times when there's new development of market rate housing, you don't see a lot of 2 and 3-bedroom units.
Yeah.
This is going to have that, right?
So there'll be some families moving in there.
Yeah.
And the residents, the neighboring people who have abutting properties to this new development were kind of upset because of the increased traffic. But they did reduce it from 81 units to 48. So that made people feel a bit better, I think.
Yeah. And if you've seen this segment, as we've been doing it since the beginning of the year, we like to end with some restaurant news. There's a bakery that's going to be opening up soon.
Yeah, J&J Bakery has officially opened for business at 109 George Street. This is right next door to Michael's Provisions, right near Lindsay Street. The newly remodeled bakery is in the same spot that formerly housed Camara's Bakery. That bakery closed several years ago. It's been a vacant spot for quite a few years, and now it's a new Brazilian bakery. They also sell American and Portuguese products like breads, savory snacks, sweets, and various delicious breakfast items, I'm told. It's a couple that owns it. They were living in Brazil, and they've been living in the United States now for about 11 years, and they have experience in the bakery industry. They also are bread distributors for the past 3 years in Mass, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. So we wish them well. New bakery has opened up, George Street in Fall River, J&J Bakery. Check it out.
All right. And Kevin, thank you as always. You can find out more with Kevin and Fall River Development News. Just follow him on Facebook. He's there and publishes a lot of activity that's happening business-wise and economic development-wise in Fall River. All right, Kevin, we'll talk again next week. Take care.
Thank you, Keith.